Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari and today I will talk about my TV and movie favorites. This is the second edition of this video and I'm so excited because I have a lot of things that are so great that you should watch. As I said before, I started making these videos just for me, but now that I think about it, this is a great video idea in which I give you recommendations of random things that have nothing in common other than they are my favorite things. Of course, we are talking about entertainment, so movies and TV shows. I'll have those sections divided in the description below. And I will leave you all the trailers for all the things that I mentioned, just in case you are not sure if you want to watch it, then you can watch the trailer and hopefully watch the TV show or the movie. Before we start, if you like this kind of content, you can subscribe to my channel. That would make me so happy. I upload videos about TV shows, movies, and books every week. And now, before the actual list of favorites, I wanted to talk about my honorable mentions. I didn't have honorable mentions in the previous video, but this time I watched a lot of things and a lot of them were great. So I had to reduce the list because there's a lot here. First honorable mention is Ragnarok Season 2. I loved it, but not as much as the first one, and that's why it's not in my favorites list. Young Royal Season 1. I tried to watch it alone. I couldn't, then I watched it with my sister. I loved it. I'm waiting for Season 2. The First Three trilogy. It was great, but I don't think it's one of my favorite things. I love the concept though, and it was just a great binge watch. Sex Education Season 3. I love this TV show, but at the same time I feel like it's not one of my favorites. I don't know why. Great highlights of these seasons were Otis and Ruby, and also Adam's poem. That was heartbreaking. The last honorable mention is House of Gucci. I went to the movies to see this with my family and it was great. Really, it was amazing. I just don't think that I will rewatch it a lot. I loved Adam Driver. That's what I have to say about that. And now let's begin with the favorites, first with TV shows. First TV show is Luis Miguel. I rewatched Season 1 and I watched Season 2 and 3 with my mom. I had no expectations about this TV show, believe me, because I didn't want to watch Mexican TV shows because I don't like Mexican telenovelas. But my mom is a Luis Miguel fan. She wanted to watch it and I watched the trailer and it actually was good. So we watched it together and this was just a mind-blowing surprise. I love Diego Boneta here. I think he is a great Luis Miguel and just the performance that he gives throughout the 3 seasons is brilliant. I like this story is based on true events, but obviously with a very dramatic twist. It is just so great, full of epic moments, full of sad moments and tragedies in Luis Miguel's life. It tells a story on how Luis Miguel became a star and all the struggles in his career and his personal life, which is the thing that a lot of people wanted to know, because I don't know how well this TV show did internationally, but here in Mexico was a huge success. A lot of people was watching it. There were a lot of memes. It was a thing to watch Luis Miguel. And I feel like although it is a Mexican show, it's very different from other Mexican productions, and that's why I like it. It is very well done. It has a different vibe. It is entertaining, it's intense, and it knows how to hit you in the feels. I promise that. It has great actors in general. Diego Boneta is the best, and on top of that, it has just great music. Season 1 is the best season in my opinion, but all 3 seasons are great. The series finale was just amazing. I cried. I gotta admit that I cried because it was so emotional, but in a good way. It was just brilliant and I really recommend this show. Next favorite is Squid Game. I love Squid Game a lot. This is the show of the year on Netflix. Was the show of the year of 2021. This show has such an interesting concept and a great first episode. And I think that's the best formula to create a TV show that will succeed. The setting is so great, the characters feel genuine. It has an amazing, disturbing soundtrack. And that's all I have to say now, because I dedicated a whole video for Squid Game. If you want to watch it, I will leave it here and in the description below. There I talk about everything, the plot, the characters, spoilers, season 2 and everything you want to know about Squid Game is in that video. Next show is The Babysitter's Club Season 2. I love The Babysitter's Club. The Babysitter's Club is probably my comfort show because it's so cute, so quick to watch, interesting characters. I love the friendship aspect of this show. The group of girls is just mind-blowing. I wish I had that friendship when I was younger, when I was their age. The new characters were a great addition to the show. Episode 7 was one of the saddest episodes that I've watched. Beware of that, it's very sad. But a great episode nonetheless. Just watch the show, believe me, you won't regret it. My mom and my sister didn't want to watch it, and then I played the first episode and they were like, we might want to watch it after all. So I really recommend this. It has witty humor and great role models for young girls. Next favorite is You Season 3. I had low expectations about this because Season 2 wasn't that great and I loved Season 1. But Season 3 was everything. It was suburban rich life in the style of You. The acting was superb, the chemistry between them was amazing. That's one of the greatest aspects about it. It has many twists and turns and just many moments that are hilarious and weird and creepy sometimes. It is so much better than Season 2. I promise that. If you are hesitant on watching it, you probably should, because it was great. Next favorite is Shadowhunters. This is an old favorite that I rewatched, and I gotta say that my favorites are Season 2 and 3. Season 1 is the weakest season, and that's why a lot of people just didn't continue watching, and that's a shame because Season 2 and especially Season 3 are great. This show has two of my favorite couples, Malik and Klaus. I just love them so much. I love their development. I love how the show represents them. I love the actors, everything about those couples. And the world is very interesting because we have demons, warlocks, vampires, werewolves, sillies, and of course, Shadowhunters. I really think you should give this show a chance. If you don't want to watch Season 1 because it's very cringy, because it is very cringy, you can watch a recap and then watch Season 2 and 3 because they are brilliant. Or maybe you can watch Season 1, struggle a little bit, get in love with the characters, and then enjoy Season 2 and 3. I know it's a lot to ask, but I really love Shadowhunters, and I think everyone should give it a chance to the real great Shadowhunters. Next TV show is The Wilds Season 1. I watched this on Amazon Prime with my sister. At first I only thought that this was a version of Lost, but with an island full of lesbians. And that was all I needed to know to watch it. But no, it is actually so much more than that. It is an interesting story. It has an intriguing premise and a fast pace which will keep you entertained for many hours. And the best thing about this is the diverse cast. All the girls looked very different and that just feels right. That also kind of reminds me of Lost, that the characters are very different from each other, both emotionally and physically. And I think The Wilds was just great and a wild ride. I'm waiting for Season 2. Now it's time to talk about movies. I'm so excited about this. The first movie favorite is Luca. It is a very different story from other Pixar movies. I don't know why, it just feels different. It has the sweetest protagonist and just a different kind of animation that I loved. I love the friendship aspect both with Alberto and Julia. The setting really wants to make you go to Italy as soon as possible, which hasn't happened for me, but it's truly amazing and I love the vibes. I love the music. I love that they eat pasta a lot because I love pasta. I'm a big pasta fan, so that was great. Everything feels like summer and cozy at the same time. I love this movie, and also my sister and my dad love it as well. We have watched it I think twice together, and then a few times just me and my sister, but generally it's one of those movies that we go back. And of course I have to talk about the gay subtext because there's a lot. In my opinion, that was a romantic thing, at least in Alberto's side of the relationship. In my previous video I also talk about the gay subtext in Raja and the Last Dragon. That for me is very real, and with this movie is also very real, and that makes Luca's last scene more heartbreaking, but at the same time so beautiful. The ending definitely makes me cry, and I appreciate this movie a lot. It's brilliant. If you haven't watched it, please do it. Next favorite is very different, a very different movie than Luca, and it is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Watching Rocky Horror is a wild and crazy experience, I gotta say, but I love it. It has excellent music, very catchy songs. Even if you don't watch it after this recommendation, listen to some of the songs, although they may be a little weird if you don't watch the actual movie. It has a great cast and overall is an experience. It's not just a movie, but an experience. Be open-minded about it. This was created in the 70s, I think, and it deals with very important topics that some of them are still taboo in our society in 2022. I think really this is a musical classic that if you like musicals, if you want to get into musicals, if you have watched some of the popular musicals like Mamma Mia or The Greatest Showman, it's nothing like it, but it's just a great experience that you should have. Next movie favorite is one of my all-time favorite things ever, and that is Little Women, the 2019 adaptation. This movie has a lot of heart, I gotta say. It has such an amazing cast. The cast is brilliant, and to have Timmy as Teddy is what makes life worth living. This is a classic story, and this adaptation is just brilliant because it really reflects our present. I watched the previous adaptation of Little Women from 1994. I gotta say that this version was so much better, in my opinion, with the narrative and with the idea of women. Joe's character was brilliant, one of the best portrayed characters of many years. The movie has valuable life lessons and a lot of great quotes just about life and slow living and what love is, friendship and family, and also life in general. Because you see life through the eyes of the four sisters and you see how different they are and how different their ambitions about their lives are. On top of that, this has the greatest, most gorgeous aesthetic ever. It's cottagecore at the greatest level. I love everything about it. In case you haven't, I think you should really watch this film. The next movie is Les Miserables. This is also a musical, very different from Rocky Horror. This musical is just tragedy. It is sad, but the music is just great. The characters are timeless and the aesthetic is also on point. It has a great cast of actors and actresses. I just really love them. And I think they all know how to sing and how to make you feel the songs. Well, not all of them, but most of the cast. This is an epic story about the French Revolution and it has great music. I don't think this movie is for everyone because they sing for the majority of the movie and it is more than 2 hours long. But if you have the interest on watching this movie, I think it will be great if you do. And if you're sensible, I think it will make you cry because it really is sad and tragic. And the ending is just the epiphany of that, just the saddest part of the movie. The next movie is a 2021 premiere and that's West Side Story. That's also a musical. Another tragic story. I like tragic stories in case you haven't realized that. The tone of this movie is so gray and at the same time so colorful. It has this great contrast and battle between the Americans and the Puerto Ricans. I just think it is a timeless story full of great music. I truly love some of these songs. My favorite right now is Maria. I don't know why. That song is so beautiful and the moment is great. I just think this movie is great. The cast was great and just watching it in cinemas was the best experience. Next favorite is a Christmas movie and that is Klaus. This is a great Christmas movie, really. Not a lot of Christmas movies appeal to me and the ones that I watch sometimes disappoint me. But Klaus was a great surprise and I watched it a few years ago. Then I rewatched it this past December and that's when I really felt like this is a true great classic story. This is how you should make an origin story because you don't feel at first in the movie where the direction is going, how the characters are going to become certain characters, but once you see it, it's all amazing. It is very original, both the animation and the story and the characters are great. Right now it's winter, so you can still watch it, but if not, you can watch it on Christmas. It will be a great thing. And the last movie that I have for you in my list is Disney's Encanto. This was a great experience, but at first I didn't really like it. The first time that I watched the movie, I didn't get it and I just thought that it was average. But as that happened during the holidays, my cousins wanted to watch it again, so we did, and that's when I really fell in love with it. I gotta clarify, at first I loved only We Don't Talk About Bruno. That was the only song that I said, whoa, this is a masterpiece, this is the best song. But now I love all the songs, all the soundtrack. This movie is a family story and it has a very cozy feeling. I can relate to some aspects of the family dynamic and others not so much. I recommend this a lot to watch with your family. I think it's great and I think Disney excels in all their films. Not so much in their sequels, but their original films are just all amazing. And an aspect that I think is very great about this movie is that we always have these amazing journeys and adventures in Disney movies. More recently, like Frozen 2 or Moana, where the characters have to go into the unknown and discover new things, find new places, new challenges. And Encanto has this great adventure, but looking within you and within the family. not going outside, not even leaving the house. The adventure is always inside, is looking deep down. And I think we always get amazing character development from Disney movies, but Encanto does it in this very unique way, and that's why it is so great. I think everyone should watch it. I really recommend it a lot. The soundtrack is amazing. Just listen to the songs because they are all great. Also, it was kind of weird for my sister and I to hear Rosa's voice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but in a very sweet and positive character. I really love this movie. I think everyone should give it a chance in case you haven't, because I know a lot of people watched it already. And just let's put the soundtrack and dance together, because those rhythms, that music, we don't talk about Bruno, is just the best thing ever. I'm glad that it outround Let It Go, although I love Let It Go. But let's face it, we don't talk about Bruno, it's just a masterpiece song that we weren't expecting from this movie. And that's it for my favorites of the last 6 months, from June to December 2021. I will keep on making these videos as recommendations for you and as a reminder for me of the things that I love. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and share it with friends. Don't forget to subscribe. You can do it here and you will get more videos every week about movies, TV shows, and books. You can watch more of my videos right here, and I will see you next time.